Good tidings, citizen.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my stream. Today we're going further in our Fighters Guild career, yet for now we need to wait till sundown, and while we wait we might as well go to the Imperial City and meet Reminus Paulus of the Arcane University. After all, we've completed all the quests for the Mages Guild. The weather is worsening. Oh, it's a storm. Okay. What? I found a cave? I thought that I found everything near this place. How can it be? Alright, since this is running all available dungeons, let's go and run it. And then back we go to Azani Blackheart. I went to Modern Orion to ask about duties, but he told me he had no official duties. However, he asked me to meet him at his house later tonight. No props. You found a yellow tick cave. Where's Daedra? Went down. Right, it's cozier inside, I guess.
What's the matter?
They shouldn't see us for now. Because I use cover, contrary to your tactics. Alright. Looting run. Oh, Spider Daedra, come on. Don't die on me. Yes! Alright. Conjurer up first. Where are you going? The fun's just beginning. Come on, this was a good shot. Hey, come on. Finally, the battle's over. We need to see if we need to perform repairs, and we do, of course. Oh. It's a brick. Nice piece of brick. This sounds resemble as if I am going to some party, collecting my spirits. Yellowtick Hollows. Yellowtick Hollows yet again. One more chimera left to explore. 5 PM. Good, good. This cave definitely has a potential. Is to turn around. Now that's cheating. No, 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 don't kill yourself. Yeah, that's my job, see? Hey, hello. It's getting fun. What is that shit? Good. Now what? So this chamber is clear. Frost Atronach. Jolly good show all around. What's that? Oh, it's previous level. We'll go there once we're cleared this level. And since there were only a few conjurers when I quote-unquote raised an alarm, I think that we'll complete this one quickly. This instant turnaround starts to annoy me. No stealth can be played like that. This is an outrage. This is it. What? You there? How the fuck did you end up here? Well, that ought to be expected. I don't have any idea how he ended up here. Still, we completed this cave. We can get out of here. And since it's closing to after dark, might as well go back. Still raining. 7 PM. We won't make it in time till the shop's closed, but that's life for us. Strange, if I were in their shoes, I'd trade with me all day long, all the night long. These goods are legally acquired through battles, endless tournaments, and alchemical experiments. Honest merchants are not interested in stealing goods. Really? 8 PM, come on. What? They're open? How nice of them.
It's my pleasure. Please continue. May I interest you in some of my fine wares? That's more than I'd usually pay. That's more than I'd usually. You got a great deal there. That's you got it. You got a great deal there. An excellent bargain. Very well.
Well, that gets interesting.
Let's talk.
Let's.
Good, you're here. We've got duties to attend to. Tell me more.
Right, let's talk about Blackwood Company.
I've been looking into them. Heard some disturbing things. We know they're a danger to us, and we know they're good at what they do.
Why are they so effective?
Good question. I've heard stories, but nothing I can prove is true. Maybe they've got a mage working with them. Maybe they're just well trained. All I know for sure is that they'll accept any contract, and they'll do anything to complete it. And they don't care who gets in the way.
Why haven't we stopped them?
Velena's gotten tentative since the Blackheart mission. She's worried about getting us killed. But we're just getting killed a little bit at a time.
Let's talk about Azani Blackheart.
That mission was the start of it. That was when Vitelis was killed. We were contracted by a wizard, Argoth, to recover an artifact from Blackheart. I went in there with 20 men. I left with 5. Vitelis wasn't one of them. He died covering our retreat.
And the Blackwood Company?
I snooped around. Apparently, they completed that contract for us. I went in there with 20 good men. I can't believe that bunch finished the job. There's more. Argoth, he's dead. The artifact gone. Sounds like a setup. Maybe they made a deal with Blackheart. I don't know. But I'll find out.
So, what now?
Now we find out what really happened. And we let it be known. I want to show the people who the Blackwood Company really are. I can't order you to do this with me. It's dangerous, and Velena isn't going to know about it. It's your choice.
Well, I'm in.
We leave as soon as you're ready. I want to investigate Blackheart's stronghold in Arpenia. Meet me at the Leowen Guild Hall. We'll go from there.
Let's talk more about Azani Blackheart.
We need to find out what happened with him. It's all suspicious to me.
Right, let's go.
Let's go.
I can't even pick something up for our adventure.
I need you to leave.
Lady Bennock's Wars and Philosophy. Lady Elena Bennock, former master of the Valenwood Fighters Guild and head of the Emperor's personal guard in the Imperial City, has been leading a campaign to reacquaint the soldiers of Tamriel with the sword. I met with her on 3 different occasions for the purpose of this book. The first time was at her suite in the palace, on the balcony overlooking the gardens below. I was early for the interview, which had taken me nearly 6 months to arrange, but she gently chided me for not being even earlier. I had time to put up my defenses now, she said, her bright green eyes smiling. Lady Bennock is a Bosmer, a wood elf, and like her ancestors, took the bow in her early years. She excelled at the sport, and by the age of 14 she had joined the hunting party of her tribe as a Jackspur, a long-distance shooter. During the Black Year of 396, when the Perich tribe began their rampage through southeastern Valenwood with the aid of powers from Somerset Isle, Lady Bennock fought the futile battle to keep her tribe's land. I killed someone for the first time when I was 16, she says now. I don't remember it very well. He or she was just a blur on the horizon where I aimed my bow. It meant no more to me than shooting animals. I probably killed 100 people like that during that summer and fall. I didn't really feel like a killer until that wintertide, when I learned what it was like to look into a man's eyes as you spilled his blood. It was a scout from the Perek tribe who surprised me while I was on camp watch. We surprised each other, I suppose. I had my bow at my side, and I just panicked, trying to string an arrow when he was half a yard away from me. It was the only thing I knew to do. Of course, he struck first with his blade, and I just fell back in a shock. You always remember the mistakes of your first victim. His mistake was assuming because he had drawn blood and I had fallen, that I was dead. I rushed at him from the moment he turned from me towards the sleeping camp of my tribesmen. He was caught off guard and I wrested his blade away from him. I don't know how many times I stabbed at him. By the time I stopped and the next watch came to relieve me, my arms were black and blue with strain. There was not a solid piece of him left. I had literally cut him into pieces. You see, I had no concept of how to fight or how much it took to kill a man. Lady Bannock, aware of this deficiency in her education, began teaching herself swordsmanship at once. You can't learn how to use a sword in Valenwood, she says, which isn't to say Bosmer can't use blades, but we're largely self-taught. As much as it hurt when my tribe found itself homeless, pushed to the north, it did have one good aspect. It afforded me the opportunity to meet redguards. Studying all manners of weapon wielding under the tutelage of Guardia Icor, Lady Bannock excelled. She became a freelance adventurer, traveling through the wilds of southern Hammerfell and northern Valenwood, protecting caravans and visiting dignitaries from the various dangers indigenous to the population. Unfortunately, before we were able to pursue her story of her early years any further, Lady Bannock was called away on urgent summons from the Emperor. Such is often the case with the Imperial Guard, and in these troubled times perhaps more so than in the past. When I tried to contact her for another talk, her servants informed me that their mistress was in Skyrim. Another month passed, and when I visited her suite, I was told she was in High Rock. To her credit, Lady Bannock actually sought me out for our second interview on Sun's Dusk of that year. I was in a tavern in the city called the Blood and Rooster when I felt her hand on my shoulder. She sat down at the room table and continued her tale as if it had never been interrupted. She returned to the theme of her days as an adventurer and told me about the first time she ever felt confident with a sword. Yo bro, I owned at that time an enchanted daikatana, quite a good one, of Daedric metal. It wasn't an original Kaviri, not even of a design. I didn't have that kind of money, but it served my primary purpose of delivering as much damage with as little effort on my part as possible. Acor had taught me how to fence, but when faced with a life or death situation, I always fell back on the old overhead wallop. A pack of orcs had stolen some gold from a local chieftain in Meditea, and I went looking for them in one of the ubiquitous dungeons that dot the countryside in that region. They were the usual rats and giant spiders, and I was enough of a veteran by then to dispatch them with relative ease. The problem came when I found myself in a pitch-black room, and all around me I heard the grunts of orcs nearing in. I waved my sword around me, connecting with nothing, hearing their footsteps coming ever nearer. Somehow I managed to hold back my fear and to remember the simple exercises Master Icor had taught me. I listened, stepped sideways, swung, twisted, stepped forward, swung in a circle, turned around, sidestepped, swung. My instinct was right. The orcs had gathered in a circle around me, and when I found a light, I saw that they were all dead. That's when I focused on my study of swordplay. I'm stupid enough to require a near-death experience to see the practical purposes, you see. Lady Bannock spent the remainder of the interview responding in her typically blunt way to the veracity of various myths that surrounded her and her career. It was true that she became the master of the Valenwood Fighters Guild after winning a duel with the former master, who was a stooge of the Imperial Battle Mage, the traitor Jagar Tharn. It was not true that she was the one responsible for the Valenwood Guild's disintegration 2 years later. Actually, the membership in the Valenwood chapter was healthy, but in Tamriel overall the mood was not conducive for the continued existence of non-partisan organization of freelance warriors. It was true that she first came to the Emperor's attention when she defended Queen Akorithy of Sentinel from a Breton assassin. It was not true that the assassin was hired by someone in the High Court of Daggerfall. At least, she says wryly, that has never been proven. It was also true that she married her former servant Urken after he had been in her service for 11 years. No one knows how to keep my weaponry on like he does. She says it's a practical business. I either had to give him a raise or marry him. The only story I asked her that she would neither admit nor refuse was the one about Calaxis, the Emperor's bastard. When I brought up the name, she shrugged, professing no knowledge of the affair. I press on with the details of the story. Calaxis, though not in line for succession, had been given the archbishopric of the One, a powerful position in the imperial city and indeed over all Tamriel where that religion is honored. Whispering began immediately that Calaxis believed that the gods were angered with the secular governments of Tamriel and the Emperor specifically. It was even said that Calaxis advocated full-scale rebellion to establish a theocracy over the empire. It is certainly true, I pressed on, that the Emperor's relationship with Calaxis had become very stormy and that legislation had been passed to limit the church's authority. That is, up until the moment when Calaxis disappeared, suddenly without notice, to his closest of friends. Many said that Lady Benoch and the Imperial Guard assassinated the Archbishop Calaxis in the sacristy of his church. The date usually given was the 29th of Sun's Dusk, 3rd era 498. Of course, responds Lady Benoch with one of her mysterious grins, I don't need to tell you that the Imperial Guard's position is as protectors of the throne, not assassins. But surely no one is more trusted than the Guard for such a sensitive operation, I say carefully. Lady Benoch acknowledges that, but merely says that such details of her duties must remain secret as a matter of imperial security. Unfortunately, her ladyship had to leave early the next morning, as the Emperor had business down south. Of course, I couldn't be told more specifics. She promised to send me word when she returned so we could continue our interview. As it turned out, I had business of my own in the Somerset Isle, compiling a book of the Psijic Order. It was therefore with surprise that I met her ladyship 3 months later in Firsthold. We managed to get away from our respective duties to complete our third and final interview on a walk along the Disato, the great river that passes through the royal parks of the city. Steering away from questions of her recent duties and assignments, and which I guess rightly she was loath to answer, I returned to the subject of sword fighting. Frender hunting, she says, lists 38 grips, 750 offensive and 1800 defensive positions, and nearly 9,000 moves essential to sword mastery. Over 9,000! The average hack and slasher knows one grip, which he uses primarily to keep from dropping his blade. He knows one offensive position facing his target and one defensive position fleeing. On the multitudinous rhythms and inflections of combat, he knows less than one. The ways of the warrior were never meant to be the easiest path. The archetype of the idiot fighter is as solidly ingrained as that of the brilliant wizard and the shrewd thief, but it was not always so. The figure of the philosopher swordman, the blade-wielding artist are creatures of the past, together with the sword singer of the Red Guards, who was said to be able to create and wield a blade with but the power of his mind. The future of the intelligent blade wielder who looks bleak in comparison to the glories of the past. Not wanting to end our interviews on a sour note, I pressed Lady Elena Benoch for advice for young blade swingers just beginning their careers. When confronted with the wizard, she says, throwing petals of Canth Leaf into the Disato, close the distance and hit him hard. Alright, I'm leaving. So, the thing you actually missed, I met Modrin Oren at his house as he requested. He told me a story about Azani Blackheart, Vitalis Daunton's death, and the Blackwood Company's current involvement. He would like me to go with him now to find out what really happened. I am to meet Orain at the Fighters Guild in Leyawiin. From there we will travel to Arpenia to look for Azani Blackheart. He suspects that the success of the Blackwood Company is because of almost disaster of Fighters Guild completing their mission, but the mage who ordered such a mission was found dead, and the actual designer of all this scheme was some other mage, and because of that, Blackwood Company, after completing this mission, gained a position in Cyrodiil, a very good position, and finance and a good reputation of someone who can do stuff. So Fighters Guild just were to acquire an artifact and deliver it to the battle mage, who was found dead a bit later, and the artifact was gone. So now we go to Leyawiin. And after that, I think we'll storm some castle or fort to search for clues. I think that right now this fort is closed, and I'm not able to actually enter it and run it before we enter it simultaneously. I love beauty and honor its mysteries. Pray at my chapel altars to receive my blessings. Way Shrine of Dibella. So for you, the matter is not clear, right? What really raises a question for me is, if Fighters Guild completed the mission, how the hell Blackwood Company came in and completed it for them? That part of the story is cheesy a bit. Stop attacking, he's a friend. See, it's a long road, very long. Of course, he uses fast travel, while I have to run all this distance. But, from my analysis of fast travel mechanics in Fallout 3, I guess that by moving your butt instead of fast traveling, you actually move faster. That fast travel consumes more time, in game time of course. But it was depicted as safe travel. So not only it's fast, but it's safe, so it's time economy for you. Also, you trade in-game time for it. More in-game time, I mean. What a nice weather to travel. We need to save the game. After all, it's been a while since last time we saved it. We draw power from the well. Is there any entrance? No. There are no entrances hidden behind the waterfall. Oopsie, wrong magic. Who's trying to attack me? Not bad. Yeah, that's wilderness for me. Usually traveling by the river is much calmer than traveling like that through the forest. Why you can't go that way? Why can't I cut in? Crap. Crappy crap. I hope that further maps are square. rectangular at least. But not like that. Although that's what I like Fallout for. It has rectangular or square map with varieties of obstacles you can't overcome. You cannot go that way. I think most units of our carried mass is consumed by bear pelts right now. Nah. There's no inn here.
gonna go get me some black bows. Tag along if you like.
Right, I think she is waiting for this bad weather to pass on. But for me this weather is okay, I'm going on. Don't tell me it's a crab. It's a crab. It's less maneuverable than a tank.
It's my pleasure. Please continue. Please, go on. Have a look at my wares. I'm sure there's something to suit you. I let that go too cheaply. An excellent deal. Thank you. Come again. Good. Well met. Have a look at my wares. I'm sure there's something to suit you. A good... That's... You've made a... That's... That's a fair deal. A fine transaction. You got... You'd right. That's a good deal. You've made a good bit of gold. Come back and see me again. Goodbye.
So that marketing made us 3,000 pieces of gold. Not much, but still, it's not that bad.
what do I owe this pleasure?
Where the hell is he? Alright, we're ready for some action.
We need to check out Arpenia. Come on, I'll follow you. We need to check out Arpenia. Come on, I'll follow you.
I didn't want you to follow me. That looks suspicious and cringy. Where is Ordain? Told me that he'll be with me. As far as I can see, he can't keep up. Especially through the routes I choose. And yet again, what else are we doing? We're just running. I hope he won't kill himself. Because if we fail this quest, that will be... well, it will be sad. Not too much, but still. I'll need to load the game. Where is he, damn it? Alright, my hopes are I enter this ruin and he'll appear just beside me. Well, nobody here. What? You gotta be kidding me. We need to wait for him. Ugh. Oh. We have no quest markers. Oh, there he is. There goes my stealth. These are some extra dangerous enemies. Which way should we go, damn it? We can at least try to lead. I should be dead, but I'm not. Stealth. Have you heard about it? We need to do it quietly. Mr. Heavy Armor. Oops. This thing will attack me ASAP. Nice job. That wasn't stealth though. He's pretty quick. Duel of the centuries. I have no freaking clue where the hell are we going.
Let's look around. Later.
So that's your concept of looking around. Just following me. Would be fun if we won't find anything. So I've chose his tactics. Just bulging, guns blazing. Let's check this place again.
Nothing. I knew it. Azani Blackheart isn't here, alive or dead.
He frightened me, damn it. Let's talk about Azani Blackheart.
The bastards. There was no battle. Azani must have made a deal with the Blackwood Company. My guess is that they paid him off. They get the weapon for Argo, collect the payment, and tell Azani where the mage is. Easy for Blackheart to retrieve the weapon and collect on it.
What do we do now?
We find Blackheart and get that weapon. We'll finish this contract and let all of Cyrodiil know what happened here. Blackheart has a fascination with these alien ruins. There's one northeast of here, Atatar. My bet is that he moved his base there. I'll lead. We'll show them.
He'll lead. What a speed.
We don't have time to talk. I want to find Blackheart. What do you need?
Can we
We'll show them.
do this all the way around? That you follow me. This was quicker. Escort missions, we do love them. At least he knows where to go. bad idea to try to push him with sprint. Atatar. My god, this will take like forever. What? There are mines here? I haven't noticed. Right, it's over here. We need to memorize it to run it later. Come on. Maybe it's my imagination, but I think that with that, it actually moves a bit faster. Why he has to walk? Can you run, man? Come on. Alright, you go. You found Baron Mine. We march all day around. Do you have an umbrella with you, Mordred? Why they had to include this type of mission in here, in such a big world of this game? And this is an okay character. I like him. I like his approach to the problem. Why did they even include such a mission as an escort with such a long range? Yes, stairs with third-person camera. What? He's already in the second level. Bandit. Okay, just draw my bow. What the hell, he plays stealth? Atar Helianga. I'm invisible, how the fuck do you see me? Your friend is dead. I think we need to return. At least we won't have to escort him.
He's here somewhere. I know it.
And my pockets are full, so I'm going back. What have I got in my nasty pockets is... I hope he's not dead.
A pleasure to see.
Have it is. I got nothing. I'm only asking for enough to feed me kids.
Do you even have ones?
Thank you, kind sir. Blessings.
Greetings to you.
Funny that the best shop here is the alchemy shop.
Hello, journeyman.
No, damn it.
Looking for anything to purchase today?
Of course.
Only quality goods for sale here. What can I interest you? That seems... You've made a good bit of gold. That's a... You... You've made... You've made... That's more than I'd usually pay. That's more than... That's a... You... That's a... Thank you for your patronage.
Me children are starving. I'm saving up enough for some medicine. Thank you, kind sir. Blessings of the shadow upon.
Well met.
You're a sneaky looking sort.
You have the hands of a healer.
May I help you?
We searched the ruins of Arpenia and the place is deserted. There are no corpses, no signs of battle. Rain believes that the entire story was made up by the Blackwood Company, that perhaps they paid off Azani Blackheart to move his base of operations. Rain suggests we search nearby Aelid ruins and knows of one to the northeast. What the hell?
We don't have time to talk. I want to find Blackheart. We'll show them.
Don't tell me to escort you again. My god. Alright, I'm going without you. You catch on. Right, at least he moves.
Good day. Tell me more. Goodbye. Well met. Goodbye.
I hope he's moving. Yeah, he stands there like a stump. Here we go again. Alright. So, with this moment forth, after we enter Atatar, we'll do it in one go. Oh, you want to cut it? Come on. Cut the crap.
He's here somewhere. I know it.
What the hell? Atatar Loria. Yeah, kill it, kill it! There's nothing better to do anyway. Oh no. So, here we are.
Twice you hit me.
Rain and I have finally defeated Azani Blackheart.
Azani Blackheart is dead, and our brothers avenged.
Let's talk more about Azani Blackheart.
Dead, finally. Good work. Did you retrieve his ring? I want that as proof that the Blackwood Company didn't defeat him.
Let's talk more about Azani Blackheart.
It's good we've killed him. I'll need his ring as proof that we did the job.
Wait. What ring? I got this sword.
We'll be talking. His ring. Have you pried it from the coward's corpse? You've got it. Good. I'll use it to prove it was we, not the Blackwood Company, who killed him. Good work on this. Now get out of here. I'm going to head back to Kol. When there's more to do, I'll let you know.
Let's talk about advancement.
Your accomplishments are impressive. Because of this, I bestow upon you the rank of Warder of the Fighters Guild.
Thanks.
I'm sorry. You're not yet ready for a promotion. Keep completing contracts and take care of any assigned duties. Go to it. A pleasure to speak with you. I don't have anything for you right now. Speak with Azan or Grokash. Get some more seasoning, and maybe I'll have something.
Alright.
Or perhaps you're ready for advancement.
No, I'm not.
You too.
Azan. Team. Oh, you can see someone. Yeah, shooting practice. Where is he? This Moraine or Moraine Modrin Moraine. Alright. Seems to me he's teleported somehow. So shall we. And although we don't use fast travel, we won't stay more here because we already looted everything here. Bear in mind, let's go there. I hate goblins. So many arrows. Ah, damn it! This camera. I thought something was wrong with my mouse. They just keep giving me the equipment. I will be over-encumbered at this rate.
You have the hands of a healer. State your business. Goodbye.
Well, what have we here?
Hey, baby. You fancy some training? Sharina's the name, and blades are the game.
Hey.
For you? Of course.
Let's talk about Leowin.
If you need a blade, go see Toon Zeus at the dividing line. Does repairs too. He does go on and on sometimes, but he's the genuine orc in Leowin.
Let's discuss some rumors.
Did you hear? The Countess was robbed. Someone stole her family ring. There's much I can show you. Farewell.
Why is this locked? It shouldn't be. Ah, that's why.
Good day. Take your time.
Because it's a
Good
warehouse.
day.
What did I do to deserve this honor?
Muscles on you. You know, I saw your fight against the Grey Prince. Nobody thought that orc could be beat, but you showed them all. I guess I could have been an adventurer, but I like sleeping in a bed. For you, of course. Take care.
I'm so happy to see you, I could burst. Brodras of the Fighters Guild. I don't do contracts much. Mostly I'm a trainer. Heavy armor. And look, no jokes about the heavy armor, eh? Not every bossman sneaks around with bows and arrows. I'm as tough and beefy as any orc. Got it?
No prob. Are you an elf on the shelf?
Please, go on.
Let's discuss some rumors.
I hear the Count's got someone to sort out that business with Mazoga, the so-called knight.
Let's discuss Leowin.
Blackwood Company's a problem. Not for me. I mostly do training. But we don't see many contracts in Leowin Guild Hall. Blackwood gets them all. Bye.
What's going on with you?
Sounds like the Empire has given up on stopping the skooma trade
Those
elsewhere.
hands of a healer.
And I...
Good day.
Sky shot.
That skooma trade is bad business.
So trespassing so we can even sleep here. Steel cutlass. Such a shitty equipment. No wonder Blackwood Company get all the contracts. Glass Battle Axe replica. Dwarven Claymore replica.
Well met.
Ed? Who got through all? Seems ready for a fight.
Let's take a look inside.
Swift hunter.
Commander Shah Fasir, your servant. I am second in command of the Blackwood Company. The company provides expert jihad for selected customers. Very discreet.
Tell us about jihad.
Beg pardon. It is a word from the Ta'agra, meaning warrior for hire. In Ta'agra, the word is vaguely disreputable. Such a fighter fights for gold rather than for clan or name. Of course, the Blackwood Company is mercenary in the Western sense. A reliable professional contractor for military services. For you, of course. Not funny, not even a little bit. No, I can't argue with that. You're revolting. Really now, you're such a charmer. That works for me.
Let's talk about rumors.
I hear the Count's got someone to sort out that business with Mazoga, the so-called knight.
Let's talk about Pack Siege.
Excuse me, in the Imperial tongue, it means roughly clan chair, the seat of the clan patriarch. In the company, we use the term to mean leader, but it carries the sense of wise father, concerned for the welfare of the whole family.
Let's talk about Leowyn.
Blackwood refers in part to Blackwood Forest, but it also carries a reference to the Thogat of charcoal warriors of Khajiit tradition. Bye.
You're the hands of a healer. Lieutenant Rana, Blackwood Company. Yes? I doubt it. No more. Good. Don't talk such rot. I accept. That's pretty good. No more. Yeah, I doubt it. What? Don't. Shh. I doubt it. I don't. Whatever you want. That's not bad.
Let's talk about Leowyn.
My duties are primarily administrative. They keep me busy here in the Leowyn barracks.
Fresh game. I am Gil, Sergeant of Sharpshooters, Blackwood Company. All right. Good one. Really? I doubt it. Yeah. I doubt it. Good one. Blow away, windbag. What a... That's pretty good. No. Good one. That works for me.
He surely laughs a lot. Let's talk about rumors.
I guess Rosentia Galenus got rid of whatever barnyard animals she was keeping inside her house. Smells much better now.
Let's talk about Leowyn.
Here, I train our skirmishing specialists. You know, perhaps, that Argonians may be gifted spellcasters. Certainly. You too.
Who's that? Looks like an orc.
What do you want?
It's not an orc.
Go ahead. That's just talk. Don't talk. Well done. That's great. What nonsense. That's just talk. Oh, that... Really? Interesting. Not now. That's really funny. All right, Good day.
Are these replicas? Blackwood shield, silver war axe. These are not replicas. Lots of books here that I already read. Can you steal a key?
The death of Uriel Septim and his heirs changes everything.
I just don't think about it. The Elder Council will make it. Sooner or later. Progress has been teaching Fighters Guild members how to better use heavy armor. Odd for a bug.
Knowing how to use heavy armor isn't a bad idea. Kind of odd to learn it from a Bosmer, though.
Interesting. Did you hear about Adarji picking another fight with an Argonian?
I don't know what her problem with Argonians is. She's going to cause some real problems if she's not careful. See you.
Goodbye.
Alright, we've entered some room. Nothing particularly interesting here. Interesting. Nirnroot gives a faint sound.
Well met. You too. I am keep.
What's up?
Did you hear? The Countess was robbed. Someone stole her family ring. You too. You walk on warm sands.
I understand that Sabrasa is still trying to create a potion to cure super addiction.
I heard it never leaves his lap.
Wow. Now that's quite a collection.
The Derek's arguing.
Right.
Hello.
A pleasure to speak with you.
The Emperor and his 3 sons dead right under the
Dead. Right in front of the Imperial Guard. Dead.
Norris.
freaking goblin cave. They're good at fencing, probably. So it was a bowman. Neat. Any knives around? No, that's okay. Nice shot. No, that's too bad. War chief. He's ought to die. If he wants us or not. Dust Eater Cell Key. Alright, we won't get any skill advancement without keys. Is it a single chambered, single leveled cave? Mine. Come on, let it be one leveled. Golden Totem Staff. Right, it's one leveled. So let's get out of here. And go find ourselves a job within Fighters Guild. As far as I can recall, we might as well go to Bravil. To think of it, it's better that we go to Bravil. Probably Olrin is there. At least that's how I recalled it. What? Another enemy? No soul gem at all? Come on. Oh, actually they're true. Yeah, where's my enemy? There he is! Good.
If you are looking to buy a horse, go inside and talk to Isabel. Good day.
Fighters Guild. There it is.
Nazi, your humble servant and humble servant of the Nine. I offer training in the martial arts of hand-to-hand fighting. Take
don't
your
say.
time.
That's why I wouldn't prevail.
The Fighters Guild is good enough to encourage me in sharing the inner peace and spiritual harmony of the martial arts.
Let's discuss rumors.
Good Eye seems to be in good spirits again after Henentier's return. I heard she enlisted a stranger's help in the search. Good show, I say. Goodbye.
Can I help you, brother?
Vincent.
A pleasure to speak with you.
Gallia.
Please, go on. Be seeing you.
Draws
A
ahead.
pleasure to speak with you. For you, of course. She doesn't leave home much, but apparently Luciana Galena has a lot of experience fighting in light armor. What can I interest you in?
It's a traitor.
That's a good deal. You've made... That's a good deal. That's a fair... You've made it. That's fine. You've made a good... That's more than I'd usually pay. That's a... Excellent. That's a good deal. That's a fair deal. You got... You drive a hard bargain. I appreciate your business. Let's see if we can't teach you a thing or two.
Apprentice.
Bye.
May you walk on warm sands.
So that's why they can't give me any contract here. There's no leader here, actually. Or quest person. Well, the guild's quarters are great.
Should you need something, I will be happy to oblige. Well met. Farewell.
Well met.
What's new with you?
I hear the legions have been recalled from Fort Swampmuff in Blackwash, and many of the other...
Swamp Muffin? Or Muck Muffin?
You have the hat.
I think we might as well sell something. Only we had something for sale.
You know, I saw your fight against the Grey Prince. Nobody thought that orc could be beat, but you showed them all. Some folks are saying that the Blackwood Company is taking over all of the Fighters Guild contracts. There's rumor they'll lose their charter.
Really? I don't believe it.
Goodbye.
I can destroy the Blackwood Company single-handedly. Righteous Paradox is closed. Crap.
The Grey Fox put this.
A pleasure to speak with you. Go.
Good day. May I interest you in some of my fine wares?
I got some interesting wares. You should check it out before I sell it to someone else.
Let's see. Thank you. Come again. Go. Oh, hurts.
Yeah, I will.
Fine greetings to you.
Let's check out Shading Hall. damn it. How the hell did it happen? It was a cool charge, I could really use it. Fighters Guild. Should be here somewhere. Yeah.
What can I do for you, meat? Need something to do?
Of course. As usual.
I've got something for you. Could be tough. There are some escaped fugitives for you to find, meat.
Prison break.
Some real hard cases got out of the Breville prison. Been terrorizing the locals ever since. The watch is useless, so we step in. Get to it.
Let's talk more about fugitives.
Apparently, there are 3 or 4 of them. Real nasty from what I hear. You take care of them. Maybe you'll get lucky and they'll surrender. Get to hunting, Pete.
Alright. Maybe we should ask around for fugitives.
Duty calls.
Lord Grokash has given me a contract to find and kill some fugitives from a prison break that have been menacing Breville. I should go there and see what I can learn. Ah, Breville. Oh my god.
We're here to serve.
Alright, thank you everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please follow my channel. I wish you all good night and until next time. Bye!